It all started with a single look, too long, too intense, and far beyond what a daughter should feel. Hey everyone, I'm Emily, just turned 21. I live with my dad and have been an orphan since I was little. My mother left because of a serious illness. Just my dad and me, relying on one another. My childhood was filled with love and devoted care from my dad. My dad's name is Robert. He played the roles of both father and mother, working to fill the gaps left by my mother's absence. Life rolled on smoothly until one fateful day flipped everything upside down. It all kicked off when I hit 18. Starting university now, that moment changed everything for me. Embracing my growth and venturing into the world. I vividly recall the bewilderment I felt when I first stepped away from my cherished home, stepped out of my dad's protective embrace to tackle a new life brimming with challenges. I was just a girl back then, unaware of the twists and turns of love and relationships. My soul brimmed with purity and a fierce desire to explore. Excited to dive into everything university has to offer. Back in the early days, everything felt fresh and thrilling. I connected with tons of people from everywhere, sharing unforgettable stories and memories amid the lively buzz of the lecture hall and the dorm's chatter. I had moments when I missed home like crazy. Whenever I thought of my father, my heart throbbed with an unshakable yearning, his image caring for me. Sharing stories about my mother on tranquil evenings, his eyes, a mix of sorrow and deep affection, kept popping into my head. Everything was on track until that fateful day hit. An unforgettable day. That moment changed everything for me, totally transforming my entire understanding. It marked a pivotal moment in my adulthood and tested my beliefs like never before. I had shed my innocence, leaving behind the girl who only knew joy and simplicity. That day, I started my journey tackling complex emotions and unexpected situations head-on. I made friends who were also starting university, just like me. But they stood apart from me. They weren't just ordinary girls like me. They knew the bar scene inside out, joined thrilling parties. Overall, they understood boys and girls. We shared a tiny dorm room at school. In a tight space, laughter echoes and stories flow endlessly. Initially, I was completely clueless and stage shy and reserved in their world, but as time flew by, I found myself getting pulled into those activities, weekend nights. Our room buzzed with activity like never before. My friends wear makeup, picked their stunning dresses. The vibrant music blasted from their phones. Their eyes sparkled with excitement, igniting my curiosity, slowly but surely. I was hooked. The buzz about parties and fresh adventures had me feeling like I couldn't miss out. Initially, I joined to explore, seeking an experience like no other. My first bar outing with them. I'll never forget the rush of excitement and confusion as I stepped into a room bursting with flashing lights, blasting tunes, and lively laughter. I stood beside them, enjoying the cocktail my friend mixed for me. A hint of bitterness spreads across my mouth. Nights like that quickly became the norm. Starting as an observer, I dove into the vibrant scene, gripping hands with friends, dancing wildly, and bursting into laughter. I picked up how to drink from them too. Initially, they were just tiny glasses. Next, it escalated to downing the entire glass without a second thought. Late nights filled with laughter and wobbly legs as we stumbled back to the dormitory. Voices buzzing with hilarious tales from our recent adventures. The rush of freedom and rebellion ignited a vibrant sense of life within me. I'm not that naive girl anymore since stepping into university. I crossed a boundary I never imagined. From the parties, I quickly discovered love. A once vague concept now comes to life. At a classmate's birthday bash one day, met a new friend. His smile and eyes quickened my heartbeat like never before. I felt the pure pulse of love. In the dead of night, we fired off long messages, exchanged personal tales, dreams of what's ahead. Love swept in unexpectedly, a magical moment that took my breath away. The first year of university flew by in a whirlwind of vibrant, non-stop days. I've changed a lot since I got here. A shy girl, focused on studying and simple dreams, I became someone who embraced endless fun, tasted the bitterness of wine. The music's passion resonates in my heart. As the first year wrapped up, we parted ways. We all carry a piece of our memories and impressions with us. As our roommates departed, the dorm fell into a hush. Everyone's heading home to dive into summer vacation. The odd emptiness that comes when laughter is absent. Night adventures await. Long stories in the dark showed me just how accustomed I had become to that lifestyle. Everything kicked off when I got back home. I just stepped into the house. I spotted my dad glued to the TV. His gaze locked onto the screen, unaware that I was back, witnessing that moment. I hatched a sneaky plan to creep up and give him a good scare for a surprise. I strode forward, one step at a time, staying silent. Closing in on him, just as my hand was about to reach my father's shoulder to give him a scare, he spun around in an instant. Snatched my hand, he swept me into his arms. You returned without a word. His voice resonated with warmth. We both erupted in laughter. Joy and surprise electrify the atmosphere. I glanced at him, curious how he sensed my approach. When I inquired, Dad gestured to the mirror next to the TV. I spun around and spotted the cause. The mirror mirrored my every move, informing him of my plan right from the beginning. I laughed out loud. I'm both embarrassed and amused by this find. Dad chuckled right along. His eyes sparkled with the warmth and love I knew so well. After some fun chatting and laughter, I jumped up and told Dad I had to grab my suitcase and head back to my room. He nodded in agreement, maintaining a warm smile. I dashed to the luggage area, embracing the cozy warmth and tranquility of home, a spot filled with memories and the love Dad had for me. The afternoon air buzzed with excitement, thanks to Dad's lively presence. That night, my father and I dove into dinner in the calm of the house. I started sharing the memories. The days at school this past year flew by. We shared a laugh, swapped hilarious tales. At times, he'd flash a dry smile, gazing at me with affection. Right now, I just had a revelation. My dad is actually really handsome now. He's almost 50. He still has the physique of a young man. He loves to exercise, and his intense daily work keeps his muscles strong. He sported just a tank top, unveiling his impressive muscles. Right then, I caught a glimpse of his beauty and strength, and it struck me oddly. Right now, I locked eyes with him. My eyes are glued. Suddenly, my thoughts spiraled into chaos. Out of nowhere, my father's booming voice jolted me from my thoughts. What's on your mind? I was taken aback, gave a quick smile. I shook my head. Negative. I think nothing. Father and son exchanged smiles, their eyes sparkling with joy. Dad said, "You've just spent a year in school. You've really transformed." I nodded in agreement, smiled and responded, "You've matured." Father, that night, while lying in bed, My father's powerful muscles flashed in my mind. It's leaving me puzzled. I never expected to have such lasting thoughts about my father. That image stuck with me, even with my eyes shut. Tomorrow arrives. Noon's sweltering heat was unbearable. Chilling in the living room, sweat trickled down my back. No matter how vigorously I fanned with my hand fan, no point. Every gust of wind vanished in the blazing heat. Rob, the guy I couldn't help but steal glances at while he worked, left home early to handle business and got back by noon. The suffocation dragged on, each cell in my skin screaming, ready to ignite. Can't take it anymore. I stepped into the bathroom. The cool water flowed, brushing against my skin. Every drop of water quickly sweeps away the heat of my frustrations, boosting my comfort level. I was so immersed in that pleasant feeling that I nearly lost track of everything else around me. Don't forget to close the bathroom door. Cool water cascaded down my shoulders and back. Every wave of water brushed softly, cooling the fiery ache in my heart. I shut my eyes. Spreading that relaxation, the space buzzed with the rush of water and my rhythmic breaths. I recalled the moments I sneaked glances at Robert from the window. Seeing him dive into his work with focus, every move precise, his eyes locked in. Since starting university, something in me shifted. My admiration for him quickly morphed into a powerful, indescribable emotion. A strange feeling washed over me in an instant, making me wake up, an intense sensation of being closely observed. I turned my head and froze, locking eyes with Robert. He was back, standing at the door. His eyes locked onto mine through the narrow crack of the half-open door. His eyes stayed locked, his face a mask of unexplainable emotion, a blend of shock and an indescribable feeling. My heart raced in my chest. My legs were stiff, frozen in place. My breathing turned sporadic. The air crackled with tension. Just the sound of rushing water echoed. Every second felt like it was dragging on forever. In that instant, we both realized we had crossed a line. I shattered the silence with my words. My voice shakes. Father, welcome back. Robert jumped in surprise. Like he just snapped out of a dream. His eyes sparkled with confusion. He blinked fast and furiously, scanning the room, hunting for a reason to be there. He gripped his bag tightly. The strap quivered with the beat of his hand. Uh-oh, apologies, I didn't think. His voice was husky and fractured. He averted his gaze, but he couldn't mask the flush on his cheeks. We stood there, frozen, even with the cramped space around us. Water trickled, a playful joke in the air. We were on the brink of taboo. I tightened my grip. Each drop of water hits the floor, sending a refreshing chill through the air. Struggling to hold back the swirling emotions within, a gentle breeze swept through the half-open window. It makes me shiver without control. This feeling was utterly mortifying and impossible to endure. He glanced at me again, our eyes locked, a silent confession exchanged. She spun around and dashed back to the living room. Silence enveloped the space, yet my heart raced on. Confusion swirls with chaotic thoughts. Eventually, I burst out of the bathroom, towel wrapped tight around me. Water glistens on my damp skin. The misty steam in the room swirled and escaped, blending with the sweltering heat of that steamy afternoon. I stepped into the living room. My heart raced when I spotted him. Robert sat there. His shirt hugged his body tightly, sweat pouring down, our eyes locked for an instant. Read and swiftly dodged. It felt like looking straight at me was out of the question. I've shed my innocence. An electrifying boldness surged through me. I grinned, striding toward him. Every step charged with longing. Plopping down right beside him, his breath fanned my cheek, the distance between us almost non-existent. "Did you catch all that just now?" I whispered, a half-smile playing on my lips. "Like this is just a minor tale." Robert tensed up. His brown eyes sparkled in the living room light, fiery red. His face contorted, timid and clumsy. He stumbled, struggling to find the right words. "Father, father." "Nope," he muttered. His hands gripped the front of his shirt, hiding the escalating tension. We locked eyes once more. I witnessed the struggle unfold. The clash of logic and feelings. "Don't dodge me," I whispered. My gaze locked onto his for what felt like an eternity. The space between us felt like it was frozen in time. He gulped. His dry lips parted, ready to speak, then halted. The line between right and wrong was fading fast for both of us. Robert inhaled sharply. His hands trembled slightly on my shoulders. "This isn't going to work," he declared. His voice was low, more for himself than for me. I pushed through anyway. Weird. A surge of power coursed through me. His eyes darted to me, filled with uncertainty. No clear sign of rejection was evident. I just couldn't resist. I raised my hands and signaled to Robert's face. I yanked him in tight, planting a kiss on Robert's quivering lips. The shock made him freeze. But only for a moment. In a flash, his lips moved in response. Gentle yet intense, our breaths intertwined. The invisible bond between us had vanished. Robert charged ahead. He pulled me in tight. He pulled me into his embrace, and I felt his heartbeat pounding against me. The outside world vanished, just us and the thrill of now. Nope. I could feel every heartbeat thumping in my chest. Every wave of heat hit me as Robert ran his hands through my wet hair. I shouldn't have done that. He whispered once more, yet his voice got lost in the surge of emotion. No response. Gazed into his eyes where the light of surrender sparkled. Moments later, we were both deep in a longer. Intensify that kiss. All doubts and logic vanished for good from that point forward. All boundaries between us vanished. We dove into each other without a second thought. The outside world faded away. In the coming days, our house transformed into a sanctuary, banishing all fears and doubts. Each time he stepped into the room, his fiery gaze quickened my pulse. I felt every quick breath, every powerful move he made. It felt like he was trying to etch his image into my very being. Initially, nervousness and the fear of being found out still lingered. Slowly but surely, passion wiped away all concerns. We thrived on wild passion. Every meeting was a chance to dive deep into our intertwined emotions. He had a way of making me forget it all, taking me to an exhilarating high of pleasure like never before. The house burst into light, no longer just a quiet spot, but a site of intense action, intense moments shared between us. Days flew by. Each afternoon, sunlight streamed through the window. I waited for him to come home. His footsteps ignited every sense within me. Anticipation raced through me, making my heart flutter. We met more than just in the dark, mornings spent together, our eyes locked with intensity. I was head over heels and there was no turning back. We kept going like that, clinging to each other through every moment until I graduated college. Time stood still, just the two of us, sharing the fiery secrets in that house now. I'm not sure I can return to how things used to be, the life I used to know, once seen as tranquil. Absolutely captivated by this intriguing relationship, I felt like a soul adrift in a whirlwind of emotions and memories, lost in uncertainty. What went wrong? Reflecting, can I ever get back the innocence and simplicity of those days? Will the scars of those days ever haunt me? My advice? Stay sharp and resist the temptations that can sneak into your life from any direction. Impulsive moments can spark quick bursts of joy, but the cost could be your peace of mind and your future. When you hit a crossroads between reason and emotion, consider whether it's worth sacrificing the core values you've established. Value what you have and weigh your choices wisely to avoid future regrets. Don't let fleeting moments eclipse your long-term vision. Strong feelings can quickly cloud our judgment about future outcomes. Trust is the foundation of lasting relationships. Commitment. Sincerity. Every choice leads to a result. The nagging conscience is the toughest to mend. Consider those in your circle, your supporters, and you. Don't sacrifice your peace for a fleeting impulse. Emotions are stunning, but they can quickly mislead you if left unchecked. Stay sharp and confident with every choice you make.